Hi everyone, good morning. I'm doing my reflection today on the gospel reading. So I did go into the church yesterday. I spent some time there, which was nice. I'm hoping I will be up to Christmas Mass or Christmas Eve Mass tomorrow in person. The thing is, when you get a diagnosis like that, that's bad and that's not good news. It affects you mentally as well. Well, it does me. I don't know about other people, but it was not the result I was hoping for with my cholesterol and my blood pressure, because when I had been taking it initially, it was like going down to 120. Some days it was 119. So I was disappointed with the results, and my doctor was as well, because the medication, I've been taking it a while now, over 6 months. By now, it should have gone down to the normal level, but it's still normal high. So I've been trying to take the pressure off myself. It's not easy when you are unemployed and you've got expenses coming in, bills coming in. That's my biggest worry. And it always has been in Canada. There's no stability. There's no supports in place for women who are single and caregivers. There's no consideration by the companies for your health, for your religious accommodation. And everybody can keep their own. I'm not saying that only Christians should be accommodated. But whenever I ask for that accommodation, it's always like it's such a big effort for them to give it to you, to give you Christmas off or give you Good Friday off. And it's like, oh my God, why the hell is it such a big deal? So it's very, very stressful for me living in this country, because when you come here from Africa, especially Zimbabwe, it's very much a Christian nation. So most of the time, and even there I went through times where I couldn't get it off, but it wasn't such a struggle. Every year I have to fight to get Christmas off, or to get some accommodation for family, or to get things done. And you would think that I was one of the worst employees, the way I get treated. You would think that I'm somebody who comes in late, who doesn't do my job, who sits and plays around the whole day, who takes advantage of people, but I'm not. So it's very, very stressful for me to live in a country like this, where my human rights are violated, where I'm forced to get psychiatric assessments, and because I'm taking other people's money, they can dictate to me what to do with that money. It's very, very hard. So my biggest problem is that, like, after my grandfather died, that was my biggest problem, because I knew that it would be hard for me, because he was the one, him and my grandmother were the ones who supported me getting an education, studying music, coming up in life, doing well, being financially independent. It was all them. So I knew that once he was gone, it would be very, very difficult for me. And so I just take it to prayer now, and I say, look, God, you brought me this far. I'm doing everything I can. So you need to help me now, because the dosages I'm taking for my medication are the maximum dosages that they can give me. I'm taking 40 grams for the statin, and I'm taking 5 grams for the high blood pressure. They can't give me any more than that. So I hate it, because for me, and even my hairdressers hate it when I come in and I tell them to cut my hair in a pixie cut or cut it short. They hate it, because they know I've got beautiful hair. I've got thick hair, and my hair looks much nicer when it's long. But because I'm always being dictated to about what to do, how to dress, everybody's sick of it. Even my hairdresser's sick of it. So when you have money, you have financial freedom, you can make your own decisions. When you're poor and you're living in other people's houses and other people's homes, and it's not yours, you get dictated to. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. That's what I say. And for me, I think this is God's message, that if people are going to carry on dictating to me and accusing me of causing problems for them when I haven't, and treating me badly, I think God's just going to take me. I think He's going to say, you know what, it's enough. Enough of this crap. So I'm fighting with God to live. I'm fighting with God, saying, I want that good paid job. I want to make my own decisions, not to be dictated to how to dress, how to talk, how to walk. There are people in this world that they go to work with like piercings in their nose, in their head. They wear all kinds of colors in their hair. No one says anything to them. But with me, everybody has to have a fat lot to say. And now those stupid messages that I'm getting, I hope the police have a way to stop them, because it's very, very frightening. It's very frightening, especially when you are somebody who's a spiritual director and you have to consider your faith. It's a calling on your life. It's not just like a job. You don't just do a job. It's a calling and it's a way of life. So I really and truly hope the police put a stop to it, because I am sick of it. I am sick of it. And I hope and I pray that the medication would work. And that's what I would ask others to pray for me too. Because it's not a nice way to live, being dictated to, having to beg for money, having to beg for work, and all the propaganda about how well Canada's doing, how all the food programs and the food banks and things are good. They're not good. They're not good. And then they want to turn around and make it seem like I have the mental health problems. I don't. There's nothing wrong with me, and there was never anything wrong with me. So if it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone, because I am so good. I'm highly qualified. I'm somebody that people trust. I'm somebody that did a good job in the workplace. But every company I work at, it's the same thing. No, they want to take it back to the dark ages, where people have no human rights, where people are just dictated to, where you can go like, I don't want to go to Cuba and have people serve me and be having like the best of everything and watch other people suffering. I've never been that kind of a person. Even when I was small, I used to go out with my grandfather to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked. I used to go into the locations, the townships with him. And yet my life is not turning around. Why? Because other people have their own agendas of how they want me to live, how they want me to be, how they want me to talk. There are people that do horrible jobs in the workplace. They keep them and they let me go. So, I don't know. All I can say is that this life makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me, because where I come from, people who work hard, people who do a good job, people who are honest, people who can make their own decisions, they're treated with respect. Especially people who are hardworking. It's an awful way to live. It's awful. That's what I say. So I'm asking people to pray for me that this changes and that I can have my life back. Because every time I take control of my life, I get let go. And then I'm back to the same position, and I have no savings, and I have nothing to live off. I have nothing of my own. So it doesn't matter how much people say they love me. I don't care, because your love doesn't put me in a position where I can be financially secure. Your love doesn't help me to get a car. It doesn't help me to get something that's of my own. I am living through what is Dickinson times. That's what I am living through. And they keep taking everything away from me. Why? As soon as I go to the church and I come back, they start sending me those awful messages. Because they want to break my faith. That's why. It's disgusting. For people to send text messages like that to somebody who's respectable, it's disgusting. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. That's what I can say. It's filthy text messages. It's filthy. And they've got dirty minds to send me messages like that. I don't know what kind of marriages they have or relationships they have or who they think they are, but that's disgusting. I don't have relationships with people that send text messages like that. I don't even know them, and I don't want anything to do with them. It's disgusting. Even yesterday I got a package. I didn't know who it was from. I called Amazon and they said to me, "Oh, we can't tell you who sent it." I said, "What do you mean you can't tell me who sent it? It's my privacy." They're like, "No, it's the privacy of the person that sent it." So instead of looking after me, the person who got the package, and I don't know who it's from, they're looking after some person that they don't know who it is. It could be somebody stalking me. It could be some weirdo that's got my information. They told me, "Oh no, you can donate it or you can throw it away. We'll get in touch with the person." That is awful customer service. It's awful. I worked in customer service, so I know. I just said, "That's fine, I'll donate it." That it's awful, because when you work in customer service and you get somebody who gets a package and they don't know who it's from, what you are supposed to do is disclose who sent it to them, where it's from, disclose the phone number, so that if necessary, they can report it to the police and they can protect their information. That is what you are supposed to do. And I know it's somebody that's got access to my information and that's watching my videos, because I heard the guy. He said his name was Felix, F-E-L-E-X. He said, "Oh, she sweeps and then she vacuums a place. We were watching her videos." So what? You didn't do a good job for me. That's why I sent a message to Amazon to tell them. You should tell them to disclose it. It's not right what people are doing. And what they are doing to me is not right. Because if it's happening to me, I can guarantee you it's happening to other people. It's stupid. Even that woman that they caught in, I think she was in France, who had made videos of our Prime Minister and Doug Ford and everybody saying, "Oh, this is an investment. If you invest in this, you're going to get a high return." It's obvious that it's fake. I used to see those videos every day on YouTube, and I used to talk about them. They caught her. But when I talk to people, they're like, "When are you going to wake up and treat me with the respect that I deserve?" When? Instead of, it's not right. But if there's some criminal that gets released from the jail and they want a job, you'll put them in that executive job, right? That's what you'll do. In the name of compassion. And where's your compassion for me? Where's your compassion for the woman that grew up in poverty in Zimbabwe and educated herself and took out loans and became a graduate of Wits University, the top university in South Africa, and went on to Rotman and went on to do her master's at Regis College and played once or twice at the Mass and helped in the church and took children's liturgy and helped your children and gave Holy Communion at church and visited the sick and helped the prisoners and made things better in your workplace. Where's that respect for me? Why is it that I am always being let go from my jobs because other people have problems in their marriage, other people have problems in their families, other people have also religious needs? Well, what about mine? What about my right to refuse a psychiatric assessment because I know that I'm of sound mind and body? What about supporting no intimidation for me by the police? What about putting systems in place that stop filthy text messages like that coming through? And what about having recruiters in place who, instead of telling me, oh, you had the worst scores in your job at Teleperformance, how about educating them so that they talk to my supervisors who know how well I did and how they fought to keep me in the job? How about changing that for a change? Instead of criticizing my accent is fine. Oh, but no, we're bringing in technology to normalize the Indian accent. My accent is not Indian. My accent is English. It's disgusting. So what about all the call centers in India? No one has anything to say about that, right? They all have Indian accents. It's awful. It's awful. That's what I can tell you. And living in poverty is awful because you are under constant pressure. And I've been under that pressure since I came to Canada. Since I set my foot on the soil, I've been under that kind of pressure. So no, I'm not surprised that my body is breaking down, that even though I'm eating a DASH diet, my cholesterol is going up and I have fatty liver and I have all these things. I'm not surprised because it's too much pressure. It's too much. And yet, our Prime Minister is flying all over the world. They're having big parties. They're celebrating. What about us? What about the people like me who have nothing, who have no income supports, who have nothing coming in? What about us? It's the injustice of what's being done to people like me. I've said it before. If you don't want us here, help us to get into good paying jobs in other countries. Whether it's America or UK or somewhere else, let us go. Because you clearly do not need people like me here. People who volunteer, people who help others, people who go to food banks and distribute the food, people who donate to the church, people who contribute to getting statues for the church, who help to repair the churches, who do good in the community. You clearly do not need us in this country. Clearly. So you should, it's not enough that you're making it easier to get the HB1 visa. You should actually say, these people are the people we want to leave Canada, and if you could please employ them in good paid jobs in America or Australia or Zimbabwe, we would appreciate it. That way I can leave and you don't have to dictate to me anymore to cut my hair, to exercise, to do this, to do that, because I'm perfectly capable of making those decisions on my own. Because I'm sick of it. I'm not in grade school that you need to tell me what to wear, how to talk, to cut my hair. I'm sick of it. If you want to dictate, get a puppy. Get a puppy and train that puppy, or get something else. Don't dictate to me, because I've had it. I've had it. It's all a show that, oh, we like to bring in people and then get them to tell us how to work and, oh yeah, you know, be different. It's all a show. When you're actually in the job, it's very different. And the people who are allowing the money laundering, the drug money and all of that, they are the ones who are being kept by TD Bank, by RBC, by HSBC. In healthcare, the ones who are pushing the medications. My doctor was strong for me. He pushed back against me taking medication I didn't need. And my doctor was well respected in Canada, Dr. Ng. He was well respected and he had a private practice. It's a pity you couldn't find anybody to take it over, because he was very, very good. The last thing he did was prescribe medication. He always gave me home remedies. He always told me if I could take Tylenol instead of taking a medication. He always did everything else before he prescribed. And that's the way it should be. Not these doctors who push the medications because they know they can make money off of it. The pharmaceutical industry is huge here. It's huge. And that's what they do. They push the drugs. I even went to talks at Rotman about women that have gone through exactly what I've gone through, and how the medical industry pushes to keep people sick, to keep them sick, and to keep dictating to people. I pray for my new doctor. I pray that his practice will be successful, and I pray that he'll be able to stand up to these people here, the corruption and the greed and the people who push the medications, because it's all part of how the system works in North America. It's all part of the system to make you think that, oh yeah, you know, you got a sickness of the mind, you have mental illness, you can't make your own decisions, you know, you should really reconsider, we don't think you can hold a job. Those are the messages that are being fed into me. And I'm saying no. I refuse to accept that. Go back and look at my scores at Teleperformance. I even took photos and put them of when I won Employee of the Month. So where do they get off telling me that I can't hold a job and that I'm mentally unstable and that I should accept text messages like that? Since when? Since when? And that's why I left that one campaign too, because I got sick of it. I got sick of them mentioning on every call that, oh, Bono loves her. So what? So what? Did Bono come here? Did he come here to visit me? Did he pay for any tickets for me to come to his concerts? Did he do anything? He didn't. So what? Why are you telling everybody that Bono loves me? What's it got to do with the work that we're doing to get money for the poor, to help with treatable diseases? Because I step up every time. That's why. I step up every time they need to get the money, they need to get the funding, and I do a good job with my videos and my letter writing, the same way I do for the church, the same way I do for non-profits. So yeah, who wouldn't love you if you're doing that for them? And you're doing it for free. You're not getting paid anything, unlike his staff who are earning over $70,000 a year. So why wouldn't he love me? He doesn't have any reason to hate me. But who did he take to his Freedom Medal ceremony? Who did he take to his concert in Vegas? Who does he take when he travels around the world and he gets volunteers to come there? Not me. So Bono also needs to change his attitude, because I'm also tired of it, and my friends are also tired of it. Even my friend Privilege, she used to tell me, she said, you do so much volunteering and they don't even appreciate you. You do so much for people and they don't even appreciate you. It's not right. I said to her, I know it's not right. It's very, very unfair and it's unjust. It's the injustice of what's being done to me, and it's racism. It's racism. The blacks get elevated in Canada. More than the Indians, the blacks get elevated. They do. And I was surprised when I met Ndidi. She said to me, oh yeah, the Indians in Nigeria are also, they very much part of the community. Because I had moved away from that mindset. For me, we were one. It didn't matter if you were white or black or colored or whatever. So I was like, okay, she's the new CEO. That's how it is now. So if Bono says he loves me and he doesn't do anything for me, what is that? He's never even sent me flowers. He's never done anything for me that he has not done for any of the other volunteers. Nothing. So I don't know why everybody is getting so worked up about it, and why everybody wants to keep telling everyone that he loves me. Really? No. If Bono wanted to do something for me, he would have done it. I was with him a long time. I was posting messages to him directly a long time. Same thing with Roger Federer. I invited him. I told him to come here, to come to the tennis here. He didn't come here. He went to Vancouver. So? and people are watching my Facebook, getting upset because I'm posting messages of support. Why don't you do it for yourself then? If it's so upsetting for you, why don't you do it? Instead of getting upset because I'm doing something that you didn't do or that you don't like. I don't dictate to people what to do. I don't dictate to them not to post messages of support to Andy Murray or Roger Federer or Novak or Rafa. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And the only way things change is if we use our voices and we speak up. And on top of all that, hardly any money went to Zimbabwe for the volunteering I did. Hardly anything. So if Bono says he loves me, why isn't that funding going to Zimbabwe? Okay, now he's not on the board at the One campaign. But I did a lot. I did a lot. He didn't even say thank you to me for what I did. So, what's the big deal? There's no big deal. Did you ever see Bono with me? Did you ever see Bono take a photo with me or put his arm around me or do anything for me? Nothing. So, I just left him. That's why I left him. Because I got tired of it. And my friends are also tired of it. Even with Roger Federer, why didn't he come here? Why didn't he take photos with me? Why? I'm tired of it. I supported them. I held them up. I made them look good. I made them get the funding from Justin Trudeau. I helped them. What did they do for me? Oh, it's too much work. We gave you a deadline and you missed the deadline to come to the G7, so it's too much work for the team. Thanks. You don't need me on your team. Because when push comes to shove, you can't be bothered to make an exception, to do something nice for me, to be there for me when times are tough. You can't be bothered. It's too much work. So that's fine. I'll just move on. That's what I say. So, just to go through this reflection for today, I want you to pay attention to how God does unusual things. So, the scripture for today is about Elizabeth and how when she came to the time to have the birth of her child, people were happy for her because the Lord has shown her so great a kindness and they shared her joy. And so you see how God covers the shame of Elizabeth. So if somebody is married, especially for us women, if you're married, you want to have children normally. And if you can't have children and you're married, it's a grief. Even if you go through losing that child or you have a miscarriage, it's a grief that a woman goes through. So you see how God works here, and God does something unusual for Elizabeth. In her old age, she gives birth to a son. And so her neighbors and her relations hear that the Lord has shown her this great kindness, and they're happy for her. They share in her joy because she's waited a long, long time, and now her joy is complete. And then now the next part of it is when she's going on the 8th day, they came to circumcise the child, and they were going to call him Zechariah after his father. But she spoke up. So again, this is something unusual, because in those days, usually it was the man who spoke up for the household and in the temple. So she speaks up. She's doing something unusual. She speaks up, and also Zechariah has lost his speech, remember that. And she says, no, he is to be called John. And so you see the temple leader saying to her, but no one in your family has that name. And made signs to the father to find out what he wanted him called. So you see this turning away from the woman to the man, sign language. What does he want the child to be called? And the father asked for a writing tablet and wrote, "His name is John." So again, you see this unusual thing happening. You see this man not supporting the temple leaders, Zechariah, not supporting the voice of the authority, but turning away from it and supporting that what God has already told him, that the child will be called John. And they were all astonished. Well, they would be. Why would you do something like that? Why would you support this name that is not even in your family line? It's very astonishing. At that instant, his power of speech returned, and he spoke and praised God. So because he obeyed God, God heals him. And God did tell him what he would do. So you see the fulfillment of promise again. All their neighbors were filled with awe, and the whole affair was talked about throughout the hill country of Judea. All those who heard of it treasured it in their hearts. What will this child turn out to be? They wondered. And indeed, the hand of the Lord was with him. So, when we read the Gospels, we pay attention to what is the unusual thing that God is doing. What is the unusual thing that God is working? What is the unusual thing that is coming about? And we see this breaking of the laws. We see this breaking of tradition. We see this God bringing in something new. And God being the God of surprises. And God being the one who covers the shame. God being the one who destroys the evil that Elizabeth would have gone through, the shame she would have gone through, the heartache she would have gone through as a married woman, not being able to find comfort in not having her own child. And also having the firstborn child, having the male child, which was important to them. Because in those days, the male child used to go out and work outside of the home. So it's a provider for the family. And that's what I would encourage you to look at when you're reading. I know I haven't done a lot, but it's very difficult. Like I was hoping the Jesuits would actually do something like the Marians have, where they would take us in with them and take us in so that we could work under them and alongside them. It's very hard when you're trying to do it on your own. It's very, very difficult. But since they haven't done it, and I've waited a long time, I'm doing it this way now, so that people can learn from me. Because who knows, I mean, this medication, I'm praying that it works, but it's not working the way it should be, and it's not working as fast as it should be. So, if God calls me home, if God decides your time is up, I'm tired of everybody dictating to you, I'm not prepared for that. I want to live a long and healthy life. But at the same time, I have to look at how my life is going and be realistic. Because I'm not somebody who wants to go and live in subsidized housing. I'm not somebody that wants to live the rest of my life without a car, without my own property. I don't want that for myself. And so if God does decide to take me home, right now my heart is fine, thank God. But if he does decide to take me home, I don't want to get to the other side and say, you know what, God gave me all this knowledge, he gave me all this wisdom, he gave me all these talents, and I didn't share it with anyone. And every company I worked at, I did my best. I took the coaching and I did my best, and I did my best for Bono. And it's not my fault. If he can't be bothered to pay for a ticket for me to come and spend time with him and be at his concerts and be there, that's not my fault. Because it's killing him. And I want him to stop doing that to himself. It's killing him. So I pray for him. I pray for him daily. I keep him in my daily prayers that he has to stop doing this, because it's not helping him and it's not helping me. I told him before, if he wants me with him, he has to find a way to do it, and to do it in a way that it doesn't hurt him and it doesn't hurt his wife and his family. Because I'm not the type of woman that goes around having affairs. I don't. So that's what I wanted to leave you with today for the scriptures. Pay attention to how God is taking away shame. Pay attention to the unusual things that God is doing and how God is putting all the powerful people in their place. All the ones who have the prestige, who are the ones who can dictate. Watch how God is doing it. It's very unusual, and God still does it today.